Miller and Isaiah Lane.
3 through 5 production last night. The middle of the order went 8 for 13 with 7 runs. And get a lead. Oklahoma jumped out to a 6-0 lead last night and never looked back.
Defensively for BYU, out in center field, Crew McChesney's making his first BYU start. Freshman out of Highland, Utah. Luke Anderson shifts to left field tonight. He was in right yesterday. Cooper Vest is out in right. He was at first. Reuter's at first. Robinson at second. Watkins is at short. Easton Jones at third base. Parker Goff getting the start behind the plate. All to support Bryce Robinson, a 6'1 senior out of Las Vegas. His fastball will hit 90. Comes in with a slider and a change. He starts tonight with 24 career victories. Only 6 pitchers in BYU history have 25. He currently sits at number 7 all time with those 24, and he can join the group ahead of him with a win tonight. ERA of 3.89, 2-3 in 8 starts, 9 walks, 36 strikeouts, and he's allowed 5 home runs. Skip Johnson in his 7th season with Oklahoma, 211 victories. We'll visit with him in a few innings. And for BYU, Trent Pratt, 55 and 56, need a win on this Friday night to get to 500 in his 3rd season for BYU. 2nd full year, and remember he picked up those last, he was interim head coach for the last half of 21. But settling in now with Walk and Robinson as BYU and Oklahoma, we begin game 2 of this 3-game series. And the theme last night was the newness of it all. This is the first time Oklahoma has played at BYU. The Cougars have never played in Norman, and yet this is the 11th meeting in the series. It's all been elsewhere on neutral sites. 1-1 the count to Jason Walk. Was 0 for 5 in the leadoff role last night. Hitting .243 with 3 home runs.
Well, that time with the shift on, you could see Jason Walk trying to shoot it through the left side. And now they've moved the third baseman, Easton Jones, to kind of where the shortstop normally plays.
1-2. And Cooper Vest is out there in right. 1 down.
Well, Jason Walk hit that thing hard. It was right on a line, but Cooper Vest, who played first base last night, great outfielder, got a good jump on the ball and pulls it through before it gets into the gap.
First meeting between these two way back in 1971. The most recent before this series was 2015. The Sooners have a 9-2 advantage. First pitch swinging. Shift is on. Over to first. And there's 2 down.
Boy, that's one of those things you can just see Madron just smiles. I mean, that was a base hit, normally where the second baseman plays, and that was hit out in short right field. But with that shift on, Crew Robinson was playing like a rover out there, and it was a perfect hop for him.
Easton Carmichael, 3 for 5 last night. He scored twice. Sophomore out of Prosper, Texas. And Robinson comes in with a strike. This is BYU's best starter, and he has been solid for 3 seasons. One and one. And the big reason why, Gary, is we looked at his stats coming in. The strikeout to walk ratio, 36-9.
Yeah, he's just right around the plate, and he should have won number 25 last week, but we'll come back to that later on.
1-2-3 goes Oklahoma. The BYU bats coming up. It'll be Luke Anderson, Easton. Welcome back to Provo. Here's the starting lineup for BYU. It'll be Luke Anderson leading off, followed by Easton Jones, Colin Reuter, that 3-run home run last night. Cooper Vest, Kahio Eloy, Brock Watkins hit a solo shot yesterday. Parker Goff, Crew Robinson, and Crew McChesney. A couple of crews there. Batting the 8 and 9 spot. Gary, the keys for BYU tonight.
Well, they need to avoid the K. BYU batters struck out 15 times last night. And error-free, BYU committed 3 errors last night and will need to play better defense tonight and not give up any, key errors, because this team, Oklahoma, just attacks after there's a mistake.
Let's set the defense for the Sooners. Same cast of characters that we saw last night. Pettis in left, Walks in center, Madron in right. McKenzie, Willits, Lane, Snyder along with Scott Mudler behind the plate. That's the group to support Kyson Witherspoon. We saw his twin brother pitch late in last night's game. And here comes Kyson, 6'2 sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. A fastball up near 95, slider, cutter, and a change. He's 3-2 in 4 starts. ERA of 3.51. 16 walks to 47 strikeouts. And he will face Luke Anderson. Oklahoma went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Miller Park is sold out tonight. Crowd still filing in. And lights are on. 60 degrees. Still cool enough for a sweatshirt or a jacket. But a perfect spring night here in Utah Valley. Witherspoon and Anderson. Anderson last 11 games, just 7 of 48. He was 1 for 4 last night. And fouls off the first one. Luke is a sophomore out of Santa Clara, Utah. Leads the Cougars in walks and doubles and strikeouts. A little mixture of everything. Back again, fouled away. 0-2. BYU just struggled last night, largely due to the wizardry of Braden Davis and his 11 strikeouts. They get a righty tonight in Witherspoon. Ball 1.
And that was 86-mile-an-hour sharp-breaking curveball. And at fastball at 95, it makes you be honest up there because he can bring it.
Oklahoma has won 5 straight games coming into tonight. BYU has lost 7 consecutive home Big 12 games. And the Cougars have been in a lot of tight ones and have just not been able to finish the job. But it's a brand new day. 1-2 pitch. Ball 2.
Well, the pitch before this one, Dave, was at 97 miles an hour.
Anderson putting up a fight here. 2-2. Strike 3. And there's one away.
Boy, that was a beautiful, beautiful slider right there. Just kind of froze Anderson. Looked like it was coming inside. And then sharp break right at the end. Beautiful pitch.
Easton Jones steps in at 6'3", sophomore out of Lehigh, Utah. Hitting .315 on the season, leads BYU with 9 home runs. 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored last night. He was 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in Tuesday night in BYU's victory against Utah Tech. One and one.
And you see the outfielders for Oklahoma. Pettis, Walk, and Madron playing very deep. Very respectful for the power of Easton Jones. 9 home runs on the season.
No breeze to speak of tonight. And this one to right field. And drifting foul. Counts 1-2. Oklahoma's in their final year in the Big 12. They have, and we'll look at Witherspoon preparing. They have 364 wins, 322 defeats, and 2 ties. 5 Big 12 championships. Most recently in 2022, as that one is into the screen. 2022, they played for the national championship.
I watched every one of those games, and Oklahoma was a tremendous team. They had 11 players off of that team drafted after that season. So, tremendous team. Almost did it, almost won it.
Here in 2024, on this night, they're in first place. Another foul back by Jones. 95-mile-an-hour pitch from Witherspoon. Again, we saw Malachi pitch out of the bullpen last night, his twin brother. Kyson's a starter. He's kind of shuffled their list of starters throughout the season, so this is just his 5th start. 1-2. Check it down the line. Our home plate umpires A.J. Wendell, Jeff Spizak's at first, Ben Harlow's at second, and Casey Moser, our umpire, down the third base line. Those are the guys working it. 2-2 to Easton Jones. This one is hit hard, hit to center field, and it is out of here. Home run for Easton Jones. That's number 10 on the season. And BYU strikes first, 1-0.
Well, I tell you, that was a 2-2 pitch, and it was a curveball. Didn't seem to be that bad, but it hung up just a little bit. And Easton Jones has such good pop in that bat. He got the barrel on it, and he drove it way over the 402-foot mark in center field. That had to be about 425 feet. Watch this curveball, just hanging up there a little bit. And Easton Jones hits his 10th home run on the season. Perfect compact swing there, and very powerful.
So BYU with their first lead in the series, and Colin Reuter comes to the plate. Reuter hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning last night. And he takes a big cut for a strike. Reuter's hitting .324. That's best on the team. Home run total is at 6. Redshirted last year, hit 8 home runs as a freshman in 2022. Triple, 6 doubles. He was 2 for 5 last night and 1 for 4 back on Tuesday with a couple of runs batted in. So 5 RBI on the week for the sophomore out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. 1-2.
There's a really nice changeup that time by Kyson.
Cooper Vest is on deck for BYU. And fouled off by Reuter. We'll do it again. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. And the second Cougar to watch the third strike go by here in the first inning.
Well, and both of those pitches, Luke Anderson and Reuter, 84-mile-an-hour curveball. Looks like it's coming inside, and it's just like a hard slider. And, boy, it just you can see it just kind of freezes the batters for BYU. That's a great pitch.
Nice framework by Scott Mudler, outstanding catcher. So 2 down here in the bottom of the first for Cooper Vest, a junior out of St. George, Utah. That went inside. Vest is at .246 on the year. He's hit 7 home runs. Looking for his first hit this week, 0 for 5 last night, and 0 for 3 back on Thursday. He had an active bat in the Baylor series last week. Baseball success is fleeting, isn't it? Momentum's fleeting. Confidence can be here 1 second, gone the next. Then you got to go out and find it again. That one's fouled back 1-2.
Yeah, sometimes that ball looks like a beach ball coming in there. You know you're going to hit it, and the other time it looks like a golf ball. It's hard to pick it out. But, yeah, that changes from week to week. And when you get hot, boy, hot batters can just carry a team.
One and two to Cooper Vest. Witherspoon comes in high, 2-2. Kuhio Aloy, another freshman for BYU, is on deck.
Well, that was kind of just a waste pitch that time by Witherspoon. Probably going to come back with that sharp slider.
2-2 pitch. And the third Cougar to watch a third strike go by. But Easton Jones hits a solo home run. And after one, it is BYU 1-0. Snyder, McKenzie, and Pettis coming up next.
Buying a home can be challenging. Good thing Mountain America Credit Union is on your side. With our homegrown home loans, you'll receive the local guidance, friendly service, and
I'm not sure what you do on a Taylor Swift night unless she shows up, and she's not coming. But that's what we got going on. So a lot of Taylor Swift music in between innings. As Bryce Robinson, who looked sharp in the first inning, is ready to face Michael Snyder. Snyder, a graduate out of University of Washington, Woodland Hills, California product. And he looks at ball one. 3 for 5, a double, 2 RBI, and scored 3 times. He's up there smiling at the plate on a beautiful night to be playing baseball. 1-1 the count. Back behind us at Gale Miller Field, BYU and Iowa State are playing softball. The Cougars beat the Cyclones 5-1 last night. And they're going for the series win. Iowa State leads it 1-0 early. So if you hear noise in this game when you know that there shouldn't be, it's because there's a big crowd behind us watching another game, making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And vice versa for the crew that's calling the game over on ESPN Plus for the softball.
And the worst case is when the batters foul something off. Well, that's not fouled off.
Here's a drive by Snyder. This game is all tied up. For Snyder, that's home run number 8. He takes the team lead for Oklahoma. Lots of power, and he shows it off, and this game is tied 1-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's tremendous power to the opposite field. That was off the scoreboard out there in right field. It's 388 to the power hour out there. Now look at this pitch, has caught too much of the plate, and Snyder just drills it. Goes a little bit underneath the scoreboard out there. So
that's the 6th home run that Bryce Robinson has allowed this season. There haven't been many, but that was a powerful one. And now Anthony McKenzie steps in, and he sends the first pitch, a screamer, dodging fans down the line. McKenzie out of Houston, Texas, went 2 for 3. With 2 runs batted in, he scored twice. One and one the count. So Easton Jones with a home run and Snyder with the answer in a 1-1 game. Good pitch by Robinson, strike 2.
Well, he's shown two changeups up there, both of them about 76, 77 miles an hour.
One-two pitch. Blocked by Goff. Got him. Strike 3.
Well, that's the same thing. Another 76 mile an hour changeup, and you had good motion. Nice drop on the ball, and you can see McKenzie was just a little bit ahead of that thing.
Kendall Pettis checks in, a senior from Chicago, 1 for 4 with a run batted in last night, scored a run, hitting .258 on the year. Shows bunt, backs out of it. The Big 12 Women's Golf Championships underway in Houston with one more round to play. Texas maintaining their lead. They've got a 5-shot lead on Houston, the home team, so to speak. There's ball 2. BYU is in 12th place, 40 shots off the lead. Hasn't been a good round for the Cougars. Final day tomorrow, the champion will be crowned. 3-0 to Pettis. Gets the corner, strike 1. Pettis trying to sell it with body language, now has to come back. Ball 4 and a 1-out walk.
Pettis 7 for 9 on the season in stolen bases, and would not be surprised if, depending on what the count is here, to Jackson Willits, if he's going to take off.
Willits is 6-foot freshman out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in last night. They throw back to first. Pettis is in safely. 5 home runs over the last 8 games as his bat has come alive. Again, they go back to first.
Robinson has a very good move over there, and it's going to be hard to get a lead on Bryce Robinson. That's very effective.
Curveball's in for a strike. Back again. This time it's wild. And over to second goes Pettis, and he might take third. He's took a big turn and then goes back to second, showing off his speed. Another mistake by BYU. There's their first error. They had 3 of them that were all costly last night. So Pettis moves into scoring position with Willits at the plate. Reuter will take it himself. Pettis moves over to third, and there's 2 outs.
Well, that might have been a possibility of a double play right there. It was a one-hop shot over to Reuter had the ball not been thrown away.
Scott Mudler checks in, junior out of Johns Creek, Georgia, 0 for 4 last night. 2 down, and the go-ahead runs over third base. Inside. Mudler at 291, 3 home runs. 20 runs batted in on the season.
I was watching Mudler in batting practice today, and he was driving several balls out to the warning track and deep to the outfield.
Gets the inside corner, 2-1. You can hear the chatter from both dugouts. We've got them both mic'd. Popped up. Reuter in foul play. Makes the catch. Sooners leave 1. But Michael Snyder's powerful home run to right field ties the game. Bottom of the second inning coming up next. It'll be a home run as we bring you back to Provo. The bottom of the second inning. Kahio Aloy is coming up to the plate, and he'll take on Kyson Witherspoon. 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Struck out all 3 on a third strike without a swing, which you don't often see. You see guys going down swinging, but rarely do you see 3 batters look at strike 3 in an inning where you have a solo home run.
Well, it tells you one of 2 things. Either one, guys should be swinging and they aren't, and then you got to fix that. Or number 2, the pitch is that good. So it's one of those 2, and I think it's a combination of both of them.
A strike for Aloy. Freshman out of Maui, hitting .283. He has been the designated hitter all season, with the exception of a few games at first base. Got a lot of power, but as we mentioned, every at-bat is an education for some of these young guys. High school pitching and collegiate pitching are very different.
There, you said it there, Dave. You're not going to see that many, high school pitchers that throw it 90 or above. And in this game, college, every one of them throws over 90 miles an hour. Who was the coach we talked about? What's the difference now when you played, and right now he says everybody throws the ball at 90 miles an hour.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, Skip Johnson, who's also the pitching coach for Oklahoma. He's got 22 pitchers on his staff. I said, "You got 22 pitchers?" He goes, "No, I have 22 throwers." I've only a few of them are pitchers.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting, the way he put that. The kids today want to come out and hit it 1,000 miles an hour as Aloy gets into right field with a leadoff single. The pitchers, the Greg Maddoxes of the world, who are going to paint the corner at 82 and then maybe come in at 88 just to throw you off, he said, yeah, those days are over.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's the difference between a pitcher and a thrower. A pitcher works inside, outside, up and down, changes it up, and throws a lot of different, pitches in there, and not trying to overpower to get the batter out. But he's looking for location. And then a thrower just tries to throw it hard and doesn't worry about the location. And these batters can hit 90-mile-an-hour straight fastballs.
There's a hit into left field for Watkins. Aloy moves over to second. And BYU's in business, first and second, and nobody out here in the second inning.
Now, both those hits, Aloy and Watkins, they weren't hit hard. But this is a grounder. That's a curveball, and Watkins stays back on it and drives it between short and third. And not hit hard, but you got runners on first and second.
Parker Goff coming to the plate, sophomore out of Harriman, Utah. This is his first at bat in the series. On Tuesday, he was 2 for 3 with a couple of doubles and a run scored against Utah Tech. 293 on the season, hit a home run, his first of the year against Baylor last weekend.
Interesting situation. Goff's a very good bunter, but the on-deck hitter is batting 195. So what's the...
He's showing bunt, and there it is. Runners move over, and everyone's going to be safe. Witherspoon tried to just bare-hand it. It got past him. So Goff's on board. First error of the game for Oklahoma.
Yeah, we said Goff's a very good bunter. Look at this, right down for the pitcher, and he tries to, instead of gloving it, he tries to bare-hand it, and now the bases are loaded, no outs.
Here's an opportunity for Crew Robinson ahead of Crew McChesney. So it's up to the two crews here hitting at the bottom of the order. Robinson at 195, 0 for 3 with a run scored. The difference between the two crews is this one has his college degree, and McChesney coming up next is a true freshman.
Yeah, and Crew Robinson's, he's also a very good bunter. So, don't put that past the situation here. Robinson is a very good bunter, and he might be, thinking about putting one down here.
Witherspoon steps off and regroups. Bases loaded, nobody out. Biggest threat of the series here for BYU. In the dirt and a block by Mudler. That saves a run. Very defensive catcher and wins the praise easily of his coach, Skip Johnson. Loves his physicality, loves the way he defends behind the plate. He saved a run right there.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right, Dave. I mean, that ball hit before the plate, and those are the hardest ones to block, and he got his body in front of it.
Strike two. Robinson, 36 strikeouts on the year.
And there's that slider from Witherspoon.
He's got 4 home runs, 2 triples, and 7 doubles. Here's the 1-2. Popped it up. Second baseman, Lane. It'll be an infield fly rule. Nobody moves. And a missed opportunity for Robinson, 1 away. That brings up the freshman, Crew McChesney. Hitting 429, but that's just 3 of 7. A triple, run batted in. And McChesney playing tonight. Keone Painter still banged up. Riker Herdsman, who started last night out in center, sore rest, so he's out. But McChesney's provided a spark when he's come in.
Yeah, he sure has, and he's in a situation right here where he's going to be facing a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He needs to be ready because a freshman, it's hard to catch up with some of this speed.
Strike one, 96 mile an hour. McChesney, one of the fastest on the team. He'll be tough to double up if it comes to that. Outside and high, 1-1. Luke Anderson, the leadoff batter, is on deck. At the bottom of the order, the guys that are on base. And the 9-hitter McChesney holds off. Nope, they call it a strike. 1-2. Looking down the line to third base. Casey Moser says, yep, he went. Now he'll have to defend the plate. And Witherspoon trying to pitch himself out of some trouble here in the second. 2-2. First start as a BYU Cougar for Crew McChesney. And he's up with bases loaded in his first at bat. An opportunity for a memory here. Witherspoon trying to shut him down. Ball 3. Full count. Crowd getting into it a little bit. Wind picking up, blowing out to right field.
Well, exciting situation. Bases loaded, 3-2.
Here comes Witherspoon. Inside, corner, strike 3. That draws the angst of the crowd. 2 down. You be the judge.
Oh, that ball's low. Ooh, they bailed him out. Wow. Great framing job by Mother, but that ball was low.
McChesney would agree with you. Here's Anderson, struck out his first time up. Chance to lead out. A strike by Witherspoon, who's come back solid. Cougars loaded him up with nobody out. Now there's 2 outs and nobody in. Outside, 1-1. Chopper scooped up at third. They go to second for the force. And how about Oklahoma? Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Cougars leave them there. We go to the 3rd inning. It's 1-1. Cougars and Sooners on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. Arlington and BYU and TCU right now are on the outside looking in. Cougars leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Game still tied 1-1 as we start the 3rd with Isaiah Lane at the plate.
Boy, that was a golden opportunity there. Anytime you get the bases loaded with no outs, you're thinking you're going to get at least 1 run in. And I'll tell you what, Witherspoon did some great pitching there.
A strike by Robinson.
And he got away with 1 against Crew McChesney. That ball was low, and Cheesy took it, but he got rung up.
Lane 1 for 4 last night. Now 1-1. Outside, 2-1. The Cougars, they run into these emotional barriers and have got to shake it off. And now Robinson's job is to do just that, and it's ball 3. 3-1. Ball 4. And a leadoff walk for Isaiah Lane. And that'll bring the leadoff man, Jason Walk, back to the plate for the 2nd time. Flew out his first. Cougars shift defensively. 3 infielders to the right. Throw back to first. Got to be careful the last time Robinson did that. He threw it past Reuter.
Well, Lane is 2 for 2 on the season in stolen bases. I'm sorry, that's Isaiah Lane, 2 for 2.
There's a strike on Walk. Looked at a bunt and pulled back and in for a strike. Ball 1. Inside, you saw Walk thinking about a bunt again. Now it's 2-1.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're 0 for 6, just not able to get a hit, sometimes getting a little bunt trying to get on base, picks you up a little bit.
Hit and run is on. Robinson over to first. Gets the 1 out as Lane moves over to second. See Watkins, he's a shortstop. He's got the high socks. He's the only one out there with high socks tonight. Going old school.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Madron is at the plate. Shift is back on. Easton Jones all by himself on the left side of the infield. 1 for 4, a double. Scored twice last night, the senior from Blanchard, Oklahoma. Very patient hitter, leads the Sooners in walks and in runs scored. When he gets on, he finds a way to get home. This one hit a mile high into right field. Vest is coming on. He'll make the grab. And Lane stays put. 2 down.
Yeah, nobody's going to challenge that arm out in right field. Cooper Vest has a gun. And Madron is a very good hitter, but good pitches there by Bryce Robinson to get the second out of the inning.
Easton Carmichael grounded out his first time up. Sooners went quickly in the first. 1-2-3. Solo home run in the second. This one to left. Shallow left. Watkins, the shortstop, backing up, waiting for it to come down. And the Sooners are retired. Oklahoma leaves one. Bottom of the third coming up. Game tied at 1. Friday night baseball on Big 12 now. After this, to the plate, who homered his first time up. Well, BYU and Oklahoma together for the one and only season in the Big 12. And Oklahoma has won most of the battles. Men's basketball, football, BYU with wins in soccer and women's volleyball. Softball, the Sooners won 2 out of 3. And baseball, the Sooners grabbed a win last night. And we're battling in game 2 here tonight. So we'll see how Witherspoon decides to pitch Easton Jones this time around. Left field. This one will be into the glove of Kendall Pettis. 1 away.
Jones hit that hard, but Pettis had him played just right. That was a solid line drive, and Jones was not fooled at all by that pitch, and but Pettis was right there.
Reuter with a strikeout his first time up. Here's his second look. First pitch he sees. There's a single in his center field.
Well, you go back to the last inning. Both of those hits right there. If the batters could have done that, there had been a number of runs scored. But here we are in another inning, and you just got to forget about it. When you don't score and you get the bases loaded, you got to forget about it and keep battling and go after the next inning.
Cooper Vest back. Struck out his first time up. Reuter over at first. Vest at 359 last year. He's sitting at 246 here in 2024. Had some bigger bats around him. Austin Deming was one of them. Drafted by the Astros in the 10th round. And this year, a little more pressure on him. Put a little more pressure on himself, sometimes too much. This one up the middle. A nice scoop by Willits in time to get Vest. Covering a lot of ground, that shortstop. 2 down.
Yeah, they were kind of favoring the right side of the field right there, and you can see the range that Willits had, and no chance to get Reuter out at second.
Kahio Aloy, who singled his first time up, is back. And Witherspoon, 6 hits. Well, 4 here so far tonight. That was the 4th delivered by Reuter. And Aloy swinging for glory there. Strike 1. Family watching in Maui. That one off the end of his bat, way ahead of that. 2 and now 2 strikes. 0-2 with 2 outs.
BYU's got a runner in scoring position there. What Aloy needs to do, just like he did last time, just hit a base hit somewhere between the infield and get the runner in.
Witherspoon looks back at Reuter. Comes in. into the glove of Snyder. The Cougars leave one. We've played 3 complete here in Provo. All tied at 1. 4th inning coming up. Oklahoma at the plate with Snyder, who homered his last time up. Seventh season led the Sooners to the College World Series Finals in 2022. What experience was that like?
It was really fun. It was fun to watch the kids celebrate and get after it. All the way that whole run was really fun. Those guys got after it.
You lost a lot to the big leagues from that group, but what's the residue like here 2 years later for your roster?
Just trying to, every year you mix and match. That's the whole thing about college baseball. We've been doing it a long time, and I think the biggest thing is we've all been good with roster management. We're the only sport that has 32 guys, 40 guys limit, and it's kind of crazy.
Coach, how do you assess Kyson Witherspoon's performance so far?
I'm just trying to get him to settle in. His own luck. He didn't feel the ball with his glove fundamentally, and he pitched out of it, which was great to see.
How about this second go-round now with your batters against Robinson as Snyder gets hit and takes off to first?
The guy's like watching somebody in the semi-pro league pitch. He can really pitch for sure.
Here's another look coming in and gets him on that left arm, and that brings up McKenzie. That was a solid win last night. A chance to take the series here tonight. You're in first place as we talk with the roster shuffling that you've done and the hot hits, the cold hits. You talked about earlier that there's been a lot of good and there's been a lot of bad, and you're sitting in first place.
Well, it's just playing the game one pitch at a time. That's what you got to continue to do. The game tells you what to do more so than anything. You just got to play it one pitch at a time, be in control of yourself, and that's the biggest thing with the pitch clock and everything like that. Just trying to slow the game down as much.
Throw back to first. Snyder in safe.
If he thinks that guy's running, something's wrong.
We saw him steal twice yesterday, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey, to talk about the middle of your order, last night, they 3 hits, 2 hits. They're just a murderer's row right there.
Yeah, those guys are, their experience, been around a little bit, and just trying to get good pitches to hit. What Ted Williams say, get a good pitch to hit. That's what you try to do.
Coach, you've taken game 1 of the series here, and we just learned that you've taken a lot of trout out of the Provo River, not far from here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. My son played in the World Series up here, the Cates World Series that they put on, and we actually stayed in the Sundance and rented an Airbnb, and it was really nice to get a little bit of vacation time between recruiting.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, thank you so much for the visit. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, guys.
That's head coach for Oklahoma. Outstanding head coach. Won a lot. Skip Johnson, also the pitching coach, so he's got a lot going on down there. We appreciate the visit. This is McKenzie, and I think that's the 6th throw over to first after Robinson beamed Snyder, and Snyder's still on his mind at first base.
Well, he should be. Snyder stole 2 times yesterday. I like the coach to say, if they think he's going over there.
This one is into the gap, and trying to chase it down is Anderson. Snyder's coming around third. He's going to score. Oklahoma's in the lead 2-1 on the double by McKenzie. That's his 8th double on the year.
Yeah, this pitch is down and in, and McKenzie does a little inside-out swing there, gets the barrel on the ball out to left center. One hops the fence out there at about 388 in left center.
Now Kendall Pettis comes in. And you talk about the damage of walks or hit batsmen. They so often come back to hurt you. Snyder got hit by a pitch, and then the hit by McKenzie, and he comes in. It's 2-1. A strike as Pettis shows bunt. Not too happy with that call. Is the senior from Chicago.
Well, I'm just impressed with number 3, 4, and 5 hitters there for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And the coach, he knows that. They're tremendous, tough outs there.
That one's off the plate, 1-1. I thought you were going to chime in with all your fishing stories once he started talking about taking trout out of the Provo River.
I didn't want to make him feel bad.
Yeah.
I wanted him to keep enjoying it, and that's awesome.
He doesn't know there's a professional angler sitting up here.
Yeah, I love to fish. I can fish every day of my life, and I'm glad Skip Johnson likes to do that too. Likes to fly fish, and that's wonderful. There's some great trout in that Provo River. People come from all over the world to fish that.
2-1 the count to Pettis. Nobody out. 1 run's in here in the 4th. Shows bunt again. It goes to 3-1. Well, Witherspoon had to settle down. Now Robinson's got to find a way to settle down, calm his heartbeat as Oklahoma's come out aggressive here. 3-2. In theory, that should take the bunt option out, but every now and then we get surprised.
Yeah, if you're a really good butter, you can still do it with 2 strikes. Otherwise, it's time to hit away.
Into left field. McKenzie turns the corner. He's heading home. And it is 3-1 Oklahoma as Pettis with an RBI.
You know, that's one of the things as a coach, you want him to get the bunt down, and he misses a couple times, and you're a little bit discouraged. And the way you get out of the bad feeling area, there's just going to base hit. And that's what Pettis does, and drives in the run.
3rd hit of the night for Oklahoma. 3 hits, 3 runs. BYU has 4 hits and 1 run as Willits takes a swing and a miss. Ground out first time up for the freshman out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. And Parker Goff getting a workout behind the plate.
And Pettis over there at first, 7 steals and 9 attempts, always a threat to go.
Long wait by Robinson. And into left field again. Another single. Pettis over to 3rd and throws offline. And they're at 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And now Robinson's in all kinds of trouble.
Well, that was a risky run right there, trying to go from 1st to 3rd. And Willits made it, but with a shallow left field, a good throw would have had him. But 1st and 3rd now, you're going to have Coach Alvarez coming out to talk to Bryce to try to settle him down.
There is not a soul in the BYU bullpen. It's interesting that Oklahoma has 22 pitchers on their roster. If you look, there's BYU's bullpen now. If we get a shot at Oklahoma, half the team is down and their bullpen. And a few of the guys are walking back to the dugout. So nobody down to the left side and everyone hanging out down to the right side in the Sooner bullpen as the pep talk is over. Maybe we'll get a shot of that bullpen down the right side as Mudler steps in the batter's box. Runners at 1st and 3rd. Inside. Here's what we're talking about. It's like a club meeting down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 3 just left. That's where they like to hang out. 1-0. And BYU may get somebody down in theirs shortly. That's ball 2.
It was interesting watching the Star Spangled Banner today. They had the team out in front of the dugout, and then down by the bullpen, there was 21 people lined up for the Star Spangled Banner. You don't see that very often.
3-0. Not close. Now Mudler. He's got 4 doubles, 3 home runs. Popped out his first time up. 0 for 4 last night. Got to figure the take is right here. And that didn't matter. Here comes the runner. Pettis comes in to score. Robinson slow to the plate. Wouldn't have mattered, and it's 4-1.
Well, he thought it hit the batter. That's what Robinson was thinking. So that's why he didn't charge in.
Yeah, well, cost him a run, and he's heading back to the mound.
Take a look at this.
Nope, it hit the shin pad of Goff. Off the glove, then off the knee.
Yeah, hit the glove first and then the foot.
Isaiah Lane at the plate. Still nobody out. 2 on, 3 runs are in. Lane lays down the bunt. Robinson over to first in time, but just barely, and there's 1 away.
Well, and that brings up the top of the order. Lane does his job.
Willits to third. Mudler's over at second. And now Walk, who has a fly out and a ground out. 4-1 Oklahoma. 3 runs here in the inning. And just the 1 out. That one bounces in.
Well, you got Jason Walk, a very good bunter. A threat to bunt up here, and that's why Coach Trent Pratt asked Reuter to move up, move the corners up just in case.
Can't get the curve to get that corner. Ball 2. And you get the feeling that Robinson is just pressing. Into right field. Willett scores. Mudler's going to score. Walk heads off to second. He's thinking about third. He'll stand there for a 2-run double. It's 6-1 Oklahoma.
Well, it got behind in the count, and that's a hanging curveball, and you can see Walk just turns on it. Drives it all the way back to the fence. You can see Best picks it up, holds him to a double, but that's a 2 more run score there, and there's still only 1 out. So the sacrifice by Lane sets that play up.
Madron, a line out and a fly out. He's not being held on at second. Down the line, and he's out. Walk is thrown out. Goff gets the ball down there without being held on the bag. He just took off. And now there's 2 down.
That was a great throw by Goff. He was almost at the base by the time he threw it.
Good tag. Sweeping tag by Jones.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And now Madron. 0-1. Oklahoma out aggressive on the base paths tonight. Aggressive at the plate, and they've managed to get key hits with runners in scoring position, especially in this inning. Here's another hit down the line. Madron's going to turn the corner at second. Well, turn the corner at first, and he'll pull into second, nice and easy. Back-to-back doubles for the Sooners.
Boy, you can see Madron just turns on this ball, and inside pitch a little bit, caught too much of the plate. And right at the warning track there, they're going to have to rake that warning track in between innings. The outfielders are getting a workout out there.
Easton Carmichael at the plate. Ground out and a pop out, but everyone seems to be hitting this inning. They have figured Bryce Robinson out. Ball 1. That's Madron leading off, number 12. $77-mile-an-hour pitch, 1-1 the count. BYU had bases loaded, nobody out, and couldn't get anybody in at bottom of the second inning. Opportunities like that against the first place team in the league don't come around very often. And now the Sooners have answered with 5 here in the 4th. Outside, 2-1. This one to left field, way back, and it is long gone. A 2-run home run by Easton Carmichael, his 4th on the year. And Oklahoma is blowing this one open. They've got a touchdown here in the 4th inning. It's 8-1.
Yeah, that was a hanging curveball that time. Robinson didn't get it down, and Carmichael just turned on it. That ball, the only question was whether it was going to be over the scoreboard or not. Look at this location, just a hanging curve, and just blast out there, hits the scoreboard. And And 2-run home run, and like you say, a touchdown here makes it 8-1.
Now Snyder's back. This inning started. He got hit by a pitch. And the Sooners have made Robinson pay. Snyder already has a home run to right field.
Yeah, we haven't seen many players this year, many teams hit Robinson the way that Oklahoma's doing it today.
There's a pop-up out of play. When Robinson's been sharp, he's been very difficult. He's not been sharp in this inning.
No.
His shots there hitting it right down the middle.
Yeah, he's just putting too many pitches right over the heart of the plate, and Oklahoma's just crushing it.
Jake Porter getting loose. 0-2 to Snyder. Outside. Ball 2. Snyder again, right field, hits it deep, turns Vest around, he gets back and makes the catch. But Oklahoma scores 7 as they rock Robinson, take command of the game, break a 1-1 tie, and lead it 8-1 here on Big 12 now. Kyson Witherspoon pitched himself out of a bases-loaded no-out jam, and his coach calls him a grinder, just grinds it out, and that's what he's done so far. Cougars with just the 1 hit, or the 1 run on 4 hits. 96 mile an hour fastball coming in.
That was a good cut by Watkins that time. 3 for 5 in this series, 1 for 1 today.
Strike 2. Now 1-2. Oh, I heard Skip Johnson say he's just trying to get Witherspoon to kind of settle down. And with a 7-run lead, that should calm you significantly. 2-2.
Yeah, we saw that in the Baylor series, though. Remember how the pitcher sat there for about 30 minutes, and he had to leave after the 3rd inning because of too many big innings.
2-2. Fouled back. Parker Goff on deck for BYU. Roller over to second base. Lane up with it, and Watkins is safe. Beats it out for an infield single. That's 2 hits for Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins has surprisingly good speed, and that time Lane was kind of shifted over towards the middle. They were thinking Watkins was going to pull over there. By the time he gets it, takes a little bit too much time there to get rid of it, and Watkins legs it out for an infield hit.
Motoring down the line. And he helped the umpire make the call. So
yeah, he's the hitter, the runner, and the umpire on that play.
Here's Goff. He reached on an error. Outside. Right past him at 95. Goff has had an active bat in his playing time, which has picked up as of late. Hit a home run last weekend. A couple of doubles back on Tuesday. Outside, ball 2. It's been interesting if there's a trend here. The backside of BYU's order is more patient at the plate. The front side's up swinging at stuff and striking out.
Yeah, it's a good point, Dave. I mean, that's that second inning. That was the bottom of the order. That was loading the bases with no outs.
There's ball 3. Watkins over at first here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now the count goes full. Big deep breath by the sophomore. Witherspoon. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So Watkins over to second. Goff is on his way to first. This is exactly how the second inning started.
Well, that ball was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but a little bit out of the zone. And Parker Goff did a nice job of fouling a good pitch off the previous pitch.
Crew Robinson popped up his first time up. And here comes his second whack at Kyson Witherspoon.
We always got to think bunt possibility too, because Crew's a good bunter.
Infield playing deep. Ball 1. And Skip Johnson's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. It's interesting, Gary, you brought up the scenario with Baylor. Their pitcher had like an 11-4 lead, and he sat on the bench while they amassed all these runs. And then he came out, and he was cold and lost his groove and couldn't find the strike zone. So he didn't make it out of the 4th inning, so he didn't qualify for the win, even though his team was up like 9 runs when he left the game.
Absolutely, and that's what just happened to Kyson Witherspoon. You know, he sat there for 7 runs in a big, long inning, and now you come out and you can see he's thrown twice as many strikes as balls, which is good. And Coach Johnson's trying to get him under control here. You don't want to do what he did a couple innings ago, walk the bases loaded or get the bases loaded with no outs. So you're playing with fire if you do that.
So Robinson climbs back into that left batter's box. Ball 1 with Watkins and Goff on base, nobody out here in the 4th. 1-1.
And that was a curveball, 84-mile-an-hour curveball. Behind in count, and the confidence that Witherspoon has in that pitch.
There's another one. 1-2.
Yeah, the bottom just kind of dropped off of that one. That's a very good pitch.
Here's the 1-2. Popped him up again. This one's shallow left field. That's a dangerous spot. Drifting back fair, and a nice catch by McKenzie. And he'll run the ball in. And there's one away. Second pop-up for Robinson with 2 on. But how about that play down the line?
Well, beautiful. We had 3 people converging on that. Second base short and left. And there, it looked like the shortstop had called it too. And McKenzie just says, hey, I'm the third baseman here. I'm going to take control and get that one.
What a catch.
Beautiful.
Here's McChesney, struck out his first time up with bases loaded on a pitch that was low, and Witherspoon got the benefit of the call. And that was a difference maker. That made the second out of the inning. And then Anderson grounded out, and the threat was over. Ball 1, 1-1 to McChesney. See what the freshman learned from his first at bat. long wait. You see that pitch clock down 3, 2. Here it comes. Strike 2.
Well, just a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Crew McChesney a little bit behind that, but those McChesneys, they're great athletes. His brother Austin was a defensive back here 2016 to 18, and Jackson was a running back 2019 to 22. And both played football at BYU, and Brock played football at Southern Utah, so a very, very good athletic family.
Ball 2. That one was 96. Let's see what Witherspoon comes up with here. 2-2 with 1 out. Facing a freshman at the plate. Not a lot of experience. Tries to get him again inside. 3-2.
Well, that was a curveball too. Curve or slider. That was his out pitch there, and it just broke a little bit too much. And now we'll see if he comes back with that fastball, and see if Crew can catch up with that.
Up the middle. Taylor may double play with McChesney's speed. He beats it out. Goff's out at second. There's 2 down. Watkins over to third. BYU first and third now with 2 away.
Well, that was a good play by the Oklahoma defense there. That ball looked like it was going to be through for a base hit. A run batted in. And you can see the range right there. Shortstop goes over there. Now you can see McChesney leg it out. Tremendous speed.
Here's Luke Anderson looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2.
Well, now they're going through the signs because McChesney's definitely a threat to steal there. And do you try to throw him out, or do you try to create a run here and send Brock Watkins home?
Strike 1 on Anderson. Trent Pratt there in the background looking on, waiting for someone to deliver a key hit. Ball 1. We'll visit with Coach Pratt here in just a bit. Watkins at third, McChesney over at first. Strike 2. And Witherspoon's got Anderson right where he wants him. Goes outside. 2-2. And come in with the cheese here, the high cheese.
Well, he's had Anderson chasing balls outside of the zone. I think he might be coming back with that curveball outside.
Three and 2. Easton Jones, power hitter, is on deck if Anderson can find his way on. 2 outs. Staying alive. Heard the BGs over the PA. That's the theme. Staying alive. 3-2. Anderson to center. Drifting to right. Hit it far. And it'll bounce free. Watkins scores. McChesney scores. Anderson's heading to third with a triple. And it's 8-3. And Luke Anderson's been waiting a long time for a hit like that.
Well, he hit it hard, hit it to the warning track, and Jason Walk, the center fielder, had a long run over there, and the right fielder, Madron, was playing down the line a little bit. So they both converge, and looks like Walk reaches out for it, makes the call, and just about a foot away from his glove, and Anderson strolls in with a triple.
Now Jones comes to the plate. Home run and a fly out to left field for Easton Jones tonight. In with a fastball at 98.
Whew.
Witherspoon not happy with how that last at bat went. He comes in with some smoke.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
This one's high, 1-1.
Same speed, 98 again.
Well, we go back to what we tell those little leaguers. The harder he throws, the further it goes.
That's right.
If you can catch up to it. Here's the 1-1. Right past him at 98. 1-2.
Yeah, that was a powerful swing. Easton Jones going for the downs, and Witherspoon at 98 3 times in a row.
Two and two.
99.
See Witherspoon a little frustrated. He's still got an 8-3 lead. The Cougars have gotten 2 across here in the inning. Dangerous hitter at the plate. 3-2. Colin Reuter on deck for BYU.
Well, those last 5 pitches, 98, 98, 98, 99, 97.
Took
Pretty
something
consistent.
off.
Took something off. Well, that's a changeup.
Luke Anderson's over at third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Straight up in the air. Into the glove of the second baseman, Isaiah Lane. BYU leaves 1. They get 2 on the triple from Luke Anderson. 5th inning's coming up in a 5-run Oklahoma lead. Here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Joining us top of the 5th inning. And, Coach, I know that everybody in the dugout was happy to see Luke Anderson get a hold of one, drive in a couple runs.
Yeah, it's good just to answer and get back on the scoreboard. You know, the inning kind of got away from Bryce a little bit, but there's a lot of game left. We got to keep chipping away.
What do you tell Bryce in an inning like that? Gives up 7 runs, and which is uncommon for the whole season.
Yeah, he's just got to get back to doing what he's doing. He's got to get to the bottom of the strike zone and work ahead and throw strikes. A leadoff. We got just the leadoff guy's gotten on the last 3 times, and so just get that first guy out and then go to work. But he's working behind a lot right now, which it's uncharacteristic, but it just seemed like one of those nights. But he's got to work ahead. He's getting himself in some bad counts.
One thing I like, Coach, is the bottom of the order seems to be generating a lot of offense tonight.
Yeah, we just need. We had the inning. We had a chance to, kind of break the game open or do something good, a base load, no outs, and just couldn't get it done.
You got Crew McChesney out there in center field making his first start. You're going to see a lot of him over the next 4 seasons. What do you like about him?
Man, he's a really good athlete, man. He can really run and defend, and he's got a chance to be a real good player.
That one's out of play. Foul down the right side. 3-2 now for Anthony McKenzie. We watched Mason Olson leave the game last night, your starter in game 1 of the series. What can you tell us about his left arm, left side?
We're just waiting. He'll get some imaging done on Monday. We're just waiting to see. We'll know more Monday once he gets that done. So we're just, praying and hoping for the best.
Nice pitch there by Robinson to strike out McKenzie. Yes, we are, Coach. Thank you for the visit.
Thank you, guys.
Trent Pratt from the dugout. Gary, look at this pitch.
Oh, yeah, this is a backdoor slider. And you can see it looked like possibly could have been outside and high, but umpire A.J. Wendell said, no, that's strike 3. Put him in the book.
McKenzie was heading down to first. Kendall Pettis. A walk and a single so far. And Robinson looked sharp in that first inning, Gary, and ever since, there's just something a little off in there.
Well, just that one inning. I mean, it just, he got his control a little bit off and couldn't get the curveball over. And against a good team like Oklahoma, they can punish you in an inning, and that's what they did. 7 runs in 1 inning. And last night they got a hit 6-0. BYU fought back, and as Coach Trent Pratt said, there's a lot of ball game left, and we've seen the Cougars fight back. So it's still fun to watch. You answer. A team gets 7, you get 2, and a lot of innings left to play.
Watkins with a nice throw to retire Pettis. This is Willits. Ground out in a single. Part of that hit parade. 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
talked about this yesterday, but his father, Reggie Willits, is the Oklahoma associate head coach. And Jackson at Fort Cobb Broxton High School in Fort Cobb, Oklahoma, was the valedictorian of his graduating class. So a very smart young man, and batted .620 in high school. So a heck of a ball player.
I think they got a piece of A.J. Wendell, our home plate umpire. 3-1. Robinson scoops it up over to first. The Sooners go 1-2-3. A good bounce back inning for Bryce Robinson. Bottom of the fifth is straight ahead. 8-3 Oklahoma here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Up 8-3, the Sooners took command with a 7-run fourth inning. BYU got 2 in the bottom of the fourth, and now they're back looking for more. It'll be Colin Reuter and Cooper Vest and Kahio Aloy. So right in the middle of that group where run production is possible. You hear the Taylor Swift. It's Taylor Swift night here in the ballpark, and whenever a Taylor Swift song comes on, all the kiddos start dancing. Around the league tonight in the Big 12, Cincinnati's a winner. Texas Tech up on West Virginia. And yesterday, West Virginia and Oklahoma were tied for first. Oklahoma went up a half game, and I'm going to build on that. Texas getting beat by TCU 2-0 in the seventh. Baylor will keep you posted on those. All the games start to mean just a little bit more as we get closer to the month of May and the conference tournament. Ball one to Colin Reuter. A strikeout and a single so far tonight.
Well, you go back to that Oklahoma State-Kansas State score, tied up in the ninth inning. Those are 2 of the next 3 teams that BYU will finish the season out with.
Outside and way off the plate, 2-0.
And the third team will be Cincinnati. So it'll be Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, then Kansas State.
Cougars just trying to scratch out a Big 12 win. Lost 7 straight here at home. Kansas, Baylor, so far Oklahoma. Inside 3-0. You heard Trent Pratt talk about getting the leadoff runner on first. That's such a big deal, and it's worked for Oklahoma. BYU went, got the Sooners 1-2-3 at the top of the fifth, and opportunity here to get the leadoff runner for the Cougars on board. 3-1.
It's pretty nice when you're down to count 3-0 and you can throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah. Let's toss it in there. Reuter, now the count is full as that goes foul. Colin with 39 strikeouts, but also leads the Cougars in the batting average at .327. That's the epitome of hot and cold. 3-2 pitch. Pops it up foul and out of play. It's interesting, you see all these rosters, and the home run leader usually is the strikeout leader as well.
Yeah, because he's taking some big cuts up there, and that's what you have to do to get it out of the park.
Here's the 3-2. Strike 3. Reuter thought that was ball 4. Second strikeout of the night for Reuter, and that'll bring Vest up to the plate. You be the judge.
Sharp breaking curve.
Yeah, too close on third strike.
Reuter thought it was outside.
Cooper Vest, a strikeout and a ground out. BYU trying to chip away. That was an 8-1 deficit. Inside corner for Witherspoon. Here comes the ball off the screen back to home plate. 0-2. Slow roller. This will be close. And safe is Vest. Just stuck in the glove long enough. And Vest motoring down finds a way to get in there. Willits corralled it, Gary. Just couldn't get it out.
Yeah, got it in his glove, and he tried to pull it out there. Couldn't get it cleanly. Very close play.
Vest hustling down the line. And that'll bring up Kahio Aloy.
You'll take that if you're Cooper Vest. It'll go as an infield hit.
Each team with 7 hits. Ball 1 to Aloy. Aloy has one of them, a single and a line out. We're back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern time, 1 local for the series finale. We trust the sun will be out. A lot of cloud cover today. A little Witherspoon cleans that one up as it slow rolls to him. Over to second goes Vest, and there's 2 down. That was not the objective for Aloy. Heading up with his power. A little dribbler back to the mound. But it brings up Brock Watkins.
Well, and it puts Cooper Vest in scoring position. So, and Watkins 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles, scored a run.
Hit a home run last night. .96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1.
Well, at the start of this series, Oklahoma was playing Watkins to pull the ball. And now they're playing straight away. They've seen Watkins go to right field with it often enough to know you got to play him straight away.
Another fastball, 0-2. Witherspoon looks back at second. Nobody covering Vest. Comes in for ball 1. One-two pitch. Strike 3. Witherspoon comes in at 96 to retire Watkins. No damage to 3, Oklahoma.
And you ask Coach Skip Johnson, did you hike the Y Mountain yesterday? He says, oh, no.
Some of the kids on the team went up there today. They had nothing to do this morning, so they hiked the Y. I said, we'll be able to tell who they are by their limping here late in the game because the calves are so sore. But, getting around exploring. Most of the kids won't be back here the rest of their life in this series. They've never been here before. And Oklahoma moving to the Southeastern Conference. Mudler's at the plate. And again, Robinson's down the count 3-0. We heard Trent Pratt say, and we were talking about it a moment ago, the inability to get the leadoff guy out has been a problem. There's a strike. See if he can come back and get him. Butler looks at another strike. 0 for 1 tonight with a pop out. Just over 2,500 in the house. There's ball 4. Another leadoff man on board for Oklahoma. And that'll bring up Isaiah Lane. See if Lane, freshman, see if he bunts him over. Laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up.
Yeah, he did that last time. Did a nice job getting the runners over from first and second to second and third.
Goff with the nice block. Keeps that ball in front of him. And keeps Mudler over at first.
That's a 91st pitch today for Bryce Robinson.
1-0. Double play opportunity. Watkins will take it himself. 2 down.
Robinson's had a fairly good outing today. I mean,
except for the fourth inning.
Yeah, and you're looking at here in the sixth. If he gets out of this inning, he'll have had 5 innings. We're just giving up 1 run. And look at Brock Watkins. Does it himself. Steps in there and easily gets lane. But what, other than 1 inning, and 1 inning with Oklahoma can really hurt you.
Yeah, 1 bad inning, and that can be it. Jason Walk back up to the plate. Watkins, he'll do all 3. And the Sooners go down without scoring. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Cougar defense is set. And he replaces Kyson Witherspoon, who pitched enough to be in line for the victory. And he was outstanding, holding BYU to 3 runs. And when he had to be, Gary, he was really good. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he had to get out of it without giving up a run, and he did.
Well, when he gave up those 2 runs in the 4th inning, he came back, and he was a little bit mad. And he was throwing 97, 98, 99, and just a super performance. What a star. I like what I see in Kyson Witherspoon. And go back to Carter Campbell here. He led Keller High School to 2 district championships and was Texas All-State honorable mention and competed in track and field in high school.
Let's take a look at Witherspoon. His night is over, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida. And he did just enough and leaves the game with a 5-run lead. Retired the side in the first inning, with the exception of the solo shot, catching 3 Cougars looking at strike 3s. And Campbell will face Parker Goff here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1. Goff reached on an air and then drew a walk. See the information on Campbell. Strike 2. It's that outside corner. That's a tough pitch to hit for righties. 0-2 to Goff. The men's Big 12 championships underway in Stillwater, Oklahoma today. The 2nd seed Sooners defeated Texas Tech. They'll play TCU tomorrow. 8th seed BYU got beat by top seed Texas. So the Cougars are done. McKenzie from 3rd gets it just in time. 1 away.
Well, that time a big stretch over there by Michael Snyder to help get Goff. That was just a bang play over there. Throws on the run. Big stretch by half a step.
Crew Robinson steps in. A couple of pop-ups tonight for Robinson. Right past him, 91. Now 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen Campbell with about a 80, 82 mile an hour curveball and 91 mile an hour fastball.
Outside, we were surprised to see in women's gymnastics yesterday, number 1 Oklahoma did not advance into Sunday's 4 on the floor. Means their quest for a three-peat has come to an end. BYU's postseason run ended in the 2nd round. But a big surprise with the Sooners not moving on. It's just what they do. It's up there with, if the softball team doesn't win it again, that'll be the surprise. They've been that good in those 2 sports.
Well, and BYU went in there and beat them at their home park there. So that's something that hadn't happened to Oklahoma Sooner softball in a number of years.
Yeah, 7 years since they've lost a Big 12 game at home. Robinson to left field. Got a lot of it. It's going shy of the track. And they're going to call it, I think they're going to call it a foul ball, are they not?
It's a foul ball. He just dropped it.
Just dropped it, and so Cruz going to have to come all the way back from second base. As Pettis got over there, and that thing was tailing. That might find some room. That close to being a fair ball down the line, that close to being caught.
Yeah, that time Pettis just overran it a little bit. The ball was slicing away from him, and he worked hard to get over there and got there in plenty of time, then reached up, and the ball was, he'd overrun it just a little bit.
Campbell looks in. Here he comes. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away again. You can see some of the crowd that's on hand tonight. We'll have another big one tomorrow afternoon in the sunshine.
Had 2,037 fans last night. And we haven't got the official word yet today.
There's a 2-2. Got him.
Looks like there's more tonight than there was yesterday. And take a look at this pitch. Beautiful curveball. Or it could even be a cut fastball, but right on the outside part of the plate.
Now McChesney.
Well, we got a pinch hitter.
Oh, no, it's Riker Scow. So McChesney's night has come to an end. He had a strikeout and a fielder's choice reach. And Riker Scow, another freshman, replacing a freshman, was 0 for 4 last night with a run scored. You can see the sun sneaking out, making one final appearance tonight. It's really lit up outside of the ballpark. It's a spectacular sight. Scow to left field, hit it hard, and it is gone. Right off the scoreboard for Riker Scow, and that's the freshman's first home run as a BYU Cougar, and he cuts the lead to 8-4. So a memory maker for Scow, hitting a bomb to left field.
And coming in as a pinch hitter, that was a hanging curveball that time, and Scow got all of it. You knew as soon as it would hit it, it was gone. Look at that pitch right down the middle, hanging in there at 84 miles an hour. That ball hit halfway up the scoreboard. You can see where it comes off the number 2 out area there. And 347 down the line, 380 in left center. And that ball was hit over 400 foot there in left field by Scow.
Here's Luke Anderson. Outside. Anderson hit a triple his last time up. 8-4. BYU trying to chip away at that 8-1 deficit. Anderson to right field. That one's tailing. And caught. What a grab by Madron, who was on the run. Makes a sliding snag. Robs Anderson. BYU gets one on the Scow home run. Everything else by the ballpark lights. 8-4 now as BYU gets one more across in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Bryce Robinson will pitch into the 7th. And the first pitch he sees is hit by Madron. He made a catch to end the inning, and he launches a bomb into the pine trees. And the Sooners get the run back just like that. One pitch and a monster shot, his 7th home run of the year.
Isn't that something how baseball works sometimes? The guy that makes a tremendous catch, and that really was a tremendous catch by Madron out there in right field, comes up early in at first or second in the next inning, and boy, does he just show off his talent right there. Watch this pitch location down the middle and too much of the plate. Madron's, he's in his trot within one step.
He came out in his trot.
Yeah.
And it disappears up there into the trees. Probably knocked a few squirrels loose. And now the second pitch, and it's Carmichael. And he's got one into the gap. And they are teeing off on Robinson again here in the 7th. There's a double for Carmichael. He had a home run his last time up. He's putting together a night.
Yeah, you might just say that Robinson's might have run out of gas right here. And,
Abe Alvarez is in, and that's going to be it for Bryce Robinson. Lit up for 7 runs in the 4th. That was the difference maker. And then hit hard here again in the 7th. And so Robinson will have to wait another few days to try and grab that 25th career win. He's out, a new arm's in. We'll introduce you to everybody when we come back. 9-4 Oklahoma here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
I am unapologetically Colby at all moments.
Here's a medium. It's okay, I'm a small.
I am trying out for Texas Tech Co-ed again to hopefully stay on the team.
He finds a crowd. Do I see you on the sidelines?
Do you want to see a girl do a handstand on top of me? No flips for Colby. First time I tried out, didn't make it. Bruce is gonna...
Say hello to Jake Porter. He's the new arm for the Cougars, a junior out of South Jordan, Utah. 13 strikeouts to 5 walks, ERA of 2.61. And he will face Michael Snyder with Easton Carmichael on second base. Go back to that 4th inning when Oklahoma scored 7 runs, and they pelted the ball all over the park. This one found some room out there in left center. A lot of it with 2 outs, just one single after the other. They peppered Bryce Robinson. Facing Porter. And 0-1 the count. That one's down the line and foul.
You see these Oklahoma hitters, boy, when they turn on the ball, they really rip it.
Look at those 9 hits, 9 runs. Just 2 left on base. The interesting thing about the Sooners is there's no lull in the lineup, right? There's not a, well, okay, these 3 should be easy, or these 3 are in a slump, or these 3 are this. They just keep sending guys up that get things done. And that's why they're in first place. 1-2 the count to Snyder, who hit a home run in the 2nd inning to tie the game at 1.
Yeah, and Oklahoma has a team batting average, Dave, of .309 as a team. So that's what you're talking about. Everybody can swing the bat.
It's like they should all go into the Hall of Fame. And they say, in baseball, you can fail 7 times out of 10 and get to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hit 300.
Absolutely.
They'll put the whole team in there. Here's 2-2. See Porter looking in.
Well, 2 years ago, they had 11 of them going into the Major League draft.
3-2.
You heard Coach Johnson earlier in his interview talk about how special it was and is to go to the College World Series. Got to the finals.
Yeah, well, they were right there. Here's the 3-2. Misses on the curve. Walk for Snyder. Now 1st and 2nd. And nobody out. Couple of insurance runs late last night ended up being the difference for Oklahoma in their 2-run victory, as BYU scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning, lost it by 2. They picked up those 2 in the 9th. Here they have a chance to get them a little earlier. Up 9-4 with nobody out. McKenzie with a double and a couple of strikeouts. Now down in the count, 0-2.
Very nice 83-mile-an-hour slider that time.
Inside. Houston, Texas, a senior. Sam Houston State, and then over to Oklahoma. Looking at a 1-2 count. Strike 3, got the inside corner. And a 3rd strikeout tonight for McKenzie.
See, McKenzie thought that was a little bit inside. Trying to bail out of there, and Didn't agree with that call, but a very nice pitch.
Kendall Pettis, a walk, a single, and a ground out. And Porter in with a strike. Strike two.
Well, started Pettis off with a curve, and then they come back with a fastball on the inside part of the plate. So he's trying to jam some of these Oklahoma hitters.
Jackson Willett is on deck. Here's the 0-2. Got him chasing that one. Strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Porter. That'll bring Willett to the plate.
And you see sharp breaking curveball. Looks good and then breaks out of the zone, and Pettis chases it.
Casual demeanor by Jake Porter, but he is all business. Madron hit a bomb to lead off the inning. And then back-to-back hits and back-to-back strikeouts. 0-1 to Willits. This should do it. Robinson scoops it up. Sooners leave two. Porter does his job, comes in and retires three in a row. Keeps BYU in it. But they're down 5. Bottom of the 7th coming up. On with that 7-run 4th inning. That's the difference. And BYU has left 6 on the bags. That's the other difference. Easton Jones is going to lead it off for the Cougars. He's got a home run, a fly out, and a pop out. And he'll go to work against Carter Campbell for Oklahoma. Sooners are 7-3 outside of Norman. Looking for that 8th. And BYU just 6-9 here at Miller Park. Cougars have a better record on the road. They're learning a lot in their first year at this level of baseball, aren't they?
Boy, we're just not used to seeing them lose at this ballpark. They really have a great record through the history of this the field here. And boy, the Big 12 batters and opposing pitchers are taking it to the Cougars here. And something we're not used to seeing, but we're seeing how good this Big 12 is.
1-1 to count to Jones. Reuter's on deck. Back into the screen. 1-2. Ball 2. That one gets away from Campbell. The count is full.
Yesterday, the score was 8-3 going into the bottom of the 7th. Oklahoma had a 5-run lead, and today it's 9-4. Oklahoma has a 5-run lead, and then BYU just kept battling back.
Inside and a leadoff walk for Jones. One thing about these Cougars is they don't quit. Baylor led 18-5, and BYU battled back and went into the 9th inning with a chance to win the game. Lost 18-17.
Well, as we talked to Coach Pratt earlier in the day, he was saying, we got a lot of game left to play, and they don't. They never give up.
Here's Colin Reuter, a couple of strikeouts and a single. See how patient he's going to be. Strike 1.
It was a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that time by Carter Campbell.
Not much of a leadoff at first. Inside, ball 1.
You see Campbell's fastball is more of a cut fastball. That ball really moves in against righties and tails away from the lefties.
1-1. 2-1. Cooper Vest on deck for the Cougars. Campbell looks over at Jones, comes home. Ball 3-1. Now this becomes an important pitch.
Well, it does, and you see a number of pitchers standing up in the bullpen, starting to think about getting loosened up there if Campbell loses this hitter.
3-1. Inside, ball 4. So a pair of walks to start the 7th inning. And BYU with runners at first and second. And Cooper Vest coming to the plate.
There's the bullpen stirring.
Nice patience by both Jones and Reuter.
And there's the call from Skip Johnson to bring everybody in. Give a little delay to get the pitchers going, and then he'll probably come out as soon as the umpire starts walking out there. There's the umpire walk.
He's taking a slow walk. Now the huddle breaks up before he even gets there. All right, so we're ready.
He's going to get one more batter. He's going to face the lefty here, Cooper Vest.
Vest steps in. Campbell's ready. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Lefty against a lefty. In for a strike. Vest with a single his last time up. First hit of the week. Looking to build and carry some momentum. Outside, 1-1. Now Campbell's ready. Ball 2. Vest looks into the dugout. You got to be thinking they're saying, hey, just wait. Make him throw a strike. And here comes Skip Johnson again. And I don't think he's going to wait. Infield's going to huddle up again. Let's see if he's going to make a move or not. Was the pitching coach for a year before becoming the head coach at Oklahoma. Now in his 7th year running the show. Was an assistant at Texas for 10. And that's a baseball man through and through.
Yes, he is, and we've seen it done in the first game. As he takes within 3 steps of coming out of the dugout, he raises his arm when he wants to do a change of pitchers there. And he walked out there, the arm didn't come up, and he's just trying to talk his pitcher, Carter Campbell, into throwing strikes here.
Vest steps back in, it's 2-1. Three and 1.
Just having a little difficulty finding a plate now. We'll see how patient Cooper Vest is up here.
Campbell steps off, Vest steps out. Everyone takes a breath. Now we're ready to go. Jones at second, Reuter's over at first. Nobody out. 3-1 pitch. Vest hits it hard, but snagged by Snyder, and the race to the bag, and they call him out. Jones and Reuter move up. And how about that finish over there at first base? First of all, the snag by Snyder was spectacular. Here it is again.
And he's fairly deep. the pitcher didn't get over there in time, so there's only one option. And you can see that Snyder just barely beats Vest. The umpire right on that call, and he got it right.
Big defensive play for Snyder, who already has a home run here tonight. And now Aloy comes up. Runners at second and third with one out. And that allows Campbell to catch his breath for just a little bit. This one gets away from Mulder, and in to score is Jones. Reuter moves over to third, and it's 9-5.
Well, that previous hit from Cooper Vest, Campbell did not cover the base. He should have been over there covering the base. And there's the pitch. It's a curve.
Bounces off of Mudler. And that's going to be
pitch.
it for Campbell. In comes Jones. Out goes Campbell. And we'll introduce you to the new arm when we come back. Runner at third, 4-run game, bottom of the seventh. Here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
With features you won't find on Honda CR-V, Nissan Rogue, or Toyota RAV4, the Hyundai Tucson puts the other guys in their place. Namely, the rearview mirror. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson.
Carson Atwood out of the bullpen for Oklahoma. A senior out of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Last night we saw him for 1 1/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits. Or check that's Dylan Crooks. My bad, junior out of Euless, Texas. I'm looking down at the same note card. 2.92 ERA. He's 1-0. 1 walk is all. And 10 strikeouts. So Crooks out of the bullpen. Campbell struggled. Witherspoon was outstanding. And BYU has Colin Reuter at third base with 1 out here in the 7th.
Well, you see Crooks, he's went to Trinity High School in Euless, Texas, and then went to Paris Junior College. He was all-district first team in 2021, a 4-year letter winner, and has a very good ERA, and he's been called on here to keep the score intact here. BYU has closed it to 9-5 now with just 1 out, and Campbell just didn't have his normal stuff today. Normal because his control was just a little bit off.
Aloy, who has a single, a line out, and a ground out so far tonight. He'll step into the box. Reuter's over at third. Easton Jones scored on a wild pitch, and that cuts the Oklahoma lead to 4. Now Crooks takes a look in and offers his first pitch of the night. Strike on the outside corner.
Well, we were talking about that play during the break there for Michael Snyder. That diving stop over there. If that ball gets through, 2-run score, and Vest is, yeah, and Vest is probably on third. But what a great play! And then Campbell doesn't go over and cover first, so Snyder's got to do it himself, and he races over there to get Vest. Just a tremendous play.
2-1 to Aloy. Watkins, who's had an active bat, is on deck. 3-1. Now how patient can the freshman be? Strike on the outside corner. Aloy has to go back and get his bat.
Wow, that looked like the same spot that Crew McChesney was called out on earlier in this game. Wow, that's a little low.
A.J. Wendell behind the plate. Now it's 3-2. And Aloy ground ball to short. That's going to score Reuter. The throw to first is in time. And there's 2 down. And it's now 9-6.
Yeah, that was a big strike call that time. If that's a walk, yeah, first and third were just one out, but Aloy gets the runner in. So cutting the lead to 3 here with 2 more innings to go.
31 runs batted in for the freshman. Now Watkins, as the infield shifts 3 to the left side. A couple of singles and a strikeout for Watkins tonight. And hitting right into that shift. That's the second baseman over to make the play, Isaiah Lane. BYU gets 2 across. They cut the Sooner lead to 3. 8th inning coming up in Provo on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. And there's the race to Arlington. The first 10 teams in the league go. Here's the backside of everybody. TCU's in the process of beating Texas. You see BYU 2.5 games back of 10th place. And that makes these kinds of opportunities at home so important. Mudler is at the plate. And there's ball 2. Horned Frogs winners now in Austin. Everyone's expecting TCU to at some point show up. They're the preseason favorites to win it. Strike on the inside corner. That call has been there all night long for both sides. So has the low pitch. 2-1. Shift is on. This is Robinson. 1 away. Robinson almost spends more time in right field than second base as often as BYU shifts.
Yeah, so you think in the pregame when you're taking ground balls, instead of being at normal second base, you go out there to the rover position and get used to throwing there. But it's worked successfully. It's a number of times that Oklahoma hitters have hit the ball to the second baseman, Robinson, in a rover position.
Here's Isaiah Lane. A walk, sacrifice bunt, a ground out. He went 1 for 4 last night. But he has been steady as he looks at a strike there. He's been steady at second base. Jackson Nicholas still sitting out with a hamstring. Maybe we'll see him tomorrow. He is the top gun in this Sooner roster, but with him out, guys like Lane, a freshman, getting some great opportunities. Chopper up the middle into center field. And a base hit. And that'll bring up the leadoff man, Jason Walk. Right up the middle.
And now that's Anderson. Luke Anderson out there in center field. Bobbles a little bit, but not enough to get the runner by.
Here's a bunt. How about this play? Nowhere to go. And Walk has a bunt single.
Yeah, that's how you teach a drag bunt right there. From the left-handed side, this is perfect. Push it past the pitcher, try to get it to the second baseman and make a play on it with the speed. No chance there.
This is where Oklahoma is good, getting insurance. Here's an opportunity here with 1 out in the 8th. Madron's at the plate. Man, he crushed a home run his last time up. That was off of Bryce Robinson. And now he's getting a good look at Jake Porter. 1-0. A lot of speed on the bags for Oklahoma with Lane and Walk.
That last home run was his 7th on the season, tying for the lead.
This one into right field. That's going to score Lane. And Walk heads to third, throws into second, gets away from Watkins, stays in the infield, so the runners will stay put at second and third. An insurance run again across for Oklahoma, and it's now 10-6.
Yeah, well, good throw down there. Would have had Madron This is a good hit. Pulls it down the line on a kind of a hanging curveball. But watch Vest come up with it here. Make a good throw in the second, but Watkins can't come up with it. And the throw was in time, but could not come up with the in-between hop. And Lane scores.
Easton Carmichael with a home run and a double in his last 2 at-bats. Ooh. That one flying line drive right off the roof of that dugout. Lucky he didn't take anybody out on his way.
When you see Carmichael just kind of looks away. He looks at the BYU dugout. He doesn't want to look at his dugout. He almost crushed the guys there.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. One and two to Carmichael. And a chance to blow this one right back open after BYU kind of fought and scratched to get close. This one's down the line. It is caught by Vest. Runner will tag from third. Walk scores. Madron's over to third. It's 11-6. But Cooper Vest with a spectacular play down the line.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard and it was slicing. And it looked like it was going to drop for sure. But watch how far Vest runs for this ball. That would have been fair. Catches it, dives, and Carmichael will get the RBI sacrifice fly. But, boy, Vest saves a couple runs there with that tremendous layout catch.
Snyder back to the plate. Home run earlier. And that spectacular play over at first base in the bottom of the 7th. This one gets past Goff, and in to score is Madron. 3 runs in the inning, and Oklahoma is comfortably back up by 6.
Yeah, those are 3 big runs right there. And you can see this pitch. It's in the dirt. Goes a wild pitch.
BYU, they got a lot of issues, but the biggest ones are right in the mirror, where they've made these mental mistakes in these big series, and they show up again here in the late innings. Did last night, did against Baylor. It's a trend that will drive Trent Pratt nuts. 0-2 to Snyder.
Now Oklahoma has put up 1 in the 7th and 3 here in the 8th. Last night, they put 2 runs up in the 7th and 2 in the 9th. So as BYU kept getting closer, Oklahoma just kept the pressure on. So 6-run lead now.
1-2 to Snyder. That one comes in high, 2-2. That's a sign of a first-place team. It pushed a little bit. It just pushed right back. Down the line and fair. And Snyder turns the corner at first and slams on the brakes and heads back. He thought he might have had a double opportunity. But it's a 2-out single. And they have figured out Jake Porter. Porter retired him in the 7th after Robinson gave up the solo home run. But here in the 8th, they figured him out. Now McKenzie's up, and he's got a hit into center. Snyder's heading to third. McKenzie now caught up between first and second. Snyder's heading home, but he won't score in time to get the out. And a break for BYU on a mistake by Oklahoma. But the Sooners get 3 more. Lead it by 6. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Or to begin, the Sooners would be the #1 seed. And they put 3 on the board in the top of the 8th inning to push the Cougars back and will extend that lead back to 6. Parker Goff will step up to the plate, and Dylan Crooks continues to throw for Oklahoma.
Well, last night it was 6-3 after 6 innings. Then the 7th inning, Oklahoma put 2 runs up, making it 8-3. Bottom of the 8th, BYU put 2 runs up, making it 8-5. And then in that 9th inning, Oklahoma continues to put the pressure on. It gets 2 more runs. BYU gets 3 in the bottom of the 9th, but 10-8. So that insurance runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, they just don't give up.
Strike 2 to Parker Goff. Look about that scoreboard, and you see that 7 in the 4th inning, and that is the difference maker in a 6-run Oklahoma lead. 14-8 hits for the Sooners. Goff fouls it down the line and drifts out of play. This has been the order, or the part of the order for BYU that's been getting on base in one way or the other, but this is Goff's first look at Crooks. Tomorrow, back on the air at 3 o'clock Eastern Time for the series finale, Oklahoma and BYU. Barring something crazy, it'll be the last time the Sooners ever come to Provo. This series is their first time here.
We got Parker Goff up here. His father, Mike, played baseball at Utah, and his mother, Cammie, played softball at Utah State and Utah. Now they're over here rooting for BYU.
Family can get you to do crazy things. McKenzie, long throw. And the infield for Oklahoma has just been rock solid. 1 away.
Yeah, that time McKenzie was kind of covering the line over there, and Goff put it right down the line. There's a good stretch over there by Michael Snyder.
Now Crew Robinson, 0 for 3 so far tonight. 0 for 3 last night. Looking for something positive to build on. Down the line and foul. A lot of that noise you're hearing is from behind us at Gale Miller Field in softball, BYU and Iowa State. Bottom of the 7th inning, they're tied up 5-5. That's over on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. Just about everything is. And a foul ball down the line. You don't need to switch over there because they're going extra innings. Take some of the drama. We'll try to keep you right here.
Well, that's so much fun to watch ESPN Plus. You've got so many
Everything's there.
Everything's there. You've got baseball, you've got lacrosse, you've got soccer, you've got hockey. You got so many sports you can watch. So, and so many baseball teams are playing. So that's what's really fun.
0-2 to Robinson. Now 1-2. It's like a Las Vegas buffet, but a higher end Las Vegas buffet.
Yeah.
Not the cheap stuff.
Oh, I like that. I like those buffets there in Las Vegas. The Luxor is my favorite.
Here's the 1-2. Yeah, you are their favorite. 2-2.
Well, you lived in Las Vegas for a long time there, Dave. And
20 years.
Did you have a favorite buffet?
I never went to one.
Wow.
I never did. That's the honest truth. I just don't like buffets. 2 and 3 and 2. You know, that's more my problem because everyone goes to Vegas and likes them.
Man, I try to time it where I can get right before the lunch and the dinner. I mean, the breakfast and the lunch, and then you get the breakfast. You get the bacon and the sausage, and then you get the burgers and the steak. And
You got it figured out.
Oh, it's a good place.
Here's the 3-2 to Robinson. And Cruz got a base hit into right field. A 1-out single for Robinson.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting that time by Crew Robinson. Took a couple close pitches there, worked the count up, and then hit that line drive. That ball inside, kind of hand. He pulls his hands in and hits it on the barrel of the bat. And the last time this guy came up, he knocked it out of the ballpark, Riker Scow.
One out here in the bottom of the 8th. Ball one. Top of the order, Luke Anderson on deck. Swing and a miss. Been a lot of ball games here at Miller Park tonight. Number 19 as far as crowd attendance, 2,567. So a top 20 crowd in here for BYU and Oklahoma, the number 1 team in the Big 12. 1-2 to Scal.
Yeah, most of them have stayed around here to the end here. And Scal's last time up, he had his first home run on the season, halfway up the scoreboard.
Ooh, sends another rocket toward the dugout. 1-2. Robinson over at first base. Scal trying to find his way on board here in the 8th. Strike 3. Outside corner. And there's 2 down.
Well, it's the low pitch that's it's a tough one. And that's 3 or 4 low strikes that have been called on the Cougars.
That might be the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
Now, you're taught to not swing at those.
Yeah. You're not going to hit those.
Luke Anderson. That one's outside. Well, neither team's been particularly happy with the strike zone tonight. So it balanced out. A couple of strikeouts for BYU were really hurtful at the time. There's 2-0. But we've seen a lot of unhappy Sooners, too, leaving the batter's box. And, hey, where was that?
Well, you think about it. Who likes to strike out? Who's happy when they strike out?
That's true. Anderson into the glove of Lane. And the freshman playing like a senior at second base. Cougars are retired. 9th inning's coming up. 12-6. Oklahoma here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. An ERA over 12. And at 6'3", he stands tall on that mound, and he'll have to face Kendall Pettis as he goes to work here in the 9th inning. Pitch clock's going. And now Foss is ready. In with a strike.
Well, Pettis has a lot of experience. There you can see him 2 for 7 in this series.
Under the glove of Reuter. And Pettis is on board.
Well, that one as a first baseman, you just got to get your glove down. You got to block it with your body. You can't let that one go between your legs. And this one was not a really difficult play, but he pulled his glove up.
I think the story of this game, there's been a lot of stuff going on, has been Oklahoma's ability to get the leadoff batter on. And
yeah.
It seems like they've done it almost every inning. Even Trent Pratt talked about that. Whether walk or hit batsman, just changes the inning right away as Willits looks at a strike.
Well, they make you pay, too. When you make a mistake like that, they just seem to make you pay.
Double play opportunity. Robinson's got 1, 2. An awfully close play at first base. Heads up play by Crew Robinson to tag out Pettis and then throw it over to first and retire Willits.
Yeah, this is just a great play. This is one, if you're a runner right there, Willits, you got to stop. And don't let the second baseman tag you there.
Ooh, that's
bang,
close.
bang was a good play. It's a right call. But
in a close game, I challenge that. Here's Mudler, who's been very effective behind the plate as the Oklahoma catcher.
Yeah, going back to that previous play, if you got the second baseman ready to tag you as Pettis was ready to get tagged, you just stop. Now the second baseman is not going to be able to get a double play. He can maybe just tag you, but he won't get a double play, so you just stop, let him get the tag after you've stopped.
2-0 to Mudler. Strike on that inside corner. There's another one. Two and two. Shallow right field. The second baseman Robinson over to first. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Last chance for the Cougars. 12-6 Sooners on Big 12 now on ESPN. Brian Lambert, a junior out of Excelsior, Minnesota, called on to finish this one up. Started at Missouri State and will finish at Oklahoma. 3-0 on the year. ERA of 1.59. And this 14th appearance. You look down at that Oklahoma bullpen, there's still like 15 guys down there. They're all waiting for a chance to get in and play.
Yeah, that's a big bullpen. It's the biggest one we've seen.
22 pitchers. For BYU, it'll start with their big hitter, Easton Jones, then Reuter, and then Vest.
If you're wondering where Excelsior, Minnesota is, where Ryan Lambert's from, it's considered a western suburb of the Twin Cities. It's about 25 miles southwest of downtown Minneapolis. Its population was 2,414, so a small city, just 15 miles southwest of Minneapolis.
Well, a long time ago, Easton Jones hit a solo home run in the first inning to give BYU a 1-0 lead. And that has been their only lead in the series. The Sooners tied it with a solo in the top of the second and then scored 7 in the fourth.
Well, then BYU had the bases loaded in the bottom of the second with no outs, and they could not generate a run from that situation.
2-0 to Jones. And a ground out to first. One down.
That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. After being ahead in the count, 2-0. Didn't get a really good swing at that one.
Yeah, not as patient at the plate as Trent Pratt would hope in that situation where you need base runners. Here's Reuter. Couple of strikeouts, a single, drew a walk. Ball one. In high for ball two.
Last time in the ninth inning of this series, the first game, Reuter hit a 3-run home run to bring the score to 10-8.
There's a strike, 2-1. That one was 96. Strike two.
That one hit 98.
2-2 to Reuter. Tries to fool him on a off speed. And Reuter doesn't bite, and the count goes full. Right field. Down the line. And just out of play. Say just beyond the foul line. Long run for Madron, who's made some great plays out there tonight.
Yeah, he really has. He's very fast and made a diving catch earlier in this game. And then the next time he came up, he hit it out of the park. That ball just missed by a few feet of being a double for Colin Reuter.
So after all that running, he comes back, gets his bat, takes a breath. And it's a 3-2 for Lambert. With a spoon on line for the win, and Robinson the loss. And Oklahoma gonna go to bed tonight, still in first place in the Big 12. Strike three. Third strikeout of the night for Reuter, and there's two down.
And there's a little change up. It's a little bit close to the high end of the strike zone, but drops in there at the last second.
BYU down to their final out, and it's Cooper Vest. Has a single tonight, 1 for 4. Strike one. The Sooners will go to 23-14, 12-4, 13-4 in the Big 12. And BYU are going to drop to 6-13 in conference play. As Reuter, it's Vest to center field, and underneath it is Walk, and he'll walk it in. And Oklahoma has defeated BYU 12-6. They take the series, and they can go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon.
BYU just like they did last night, and but just came a little bit short because Oklahoma in the 7th inning got a run, the 8th inning they got 3 more insurance runs. So they just kept the pressure up and won by 7 tonight and by 2 yesterday.